So, have you ever really thought about those moments, when a whole group of people see something, well, something they just can't explain?
Absolutely. It really pushes the boundaries, doesn't it? Challenges our whole sense of reality.
Exactly. And today we're doing a deep dive into one of those really legendary, kind of unsettling stories, the infamous Shaitani Flight 786.
Ah, yes. Shaitani, often translated as demonic or something similar.
Right. And our sources mention this flight has had strange stories swirling around it for years. Our mission today is to unpack one specific journey, Karachi to Dubai. That sounds particularly disturbing.
And it's important to stress this wasn't just whispers or rumors later on. We're talking about passengers and crew on that flight reporting genuinely disturbing things happening, shared experiences.
Right, at 35,000 feet.
Precisely.
Yeah.
Which really makes you question, shared perception versus maybe mass delusion. It's a core problem with these kinds of phenomena.
Okay, so let's paint the picture. Accounts describe a pretty standard flight starting out. Clear day, Karachi to Dubai, people seem relaxed, good spirits.
This is a totally normal takeoff and climb. The usual cabin sounds, people settling in.
But then Flight 786 hits cruising altitude, 35,000 feet, and that normal feeling starts to, well, unravel. Something else takes over. What was the first sign, according to the reports?
It seems like the strangeness began quite subtly, almost creeping in different spots in the cabin.
Like testing the waters?
Maybe. One account mentions a woman sitting near the back. She felt someone standing right behind her seat, like distinctly felt a presence.
Okay, yeah, that's creepy on its own.
But when she turned around, expecting maybe another passenger or flight attendant,
Yeah.
there was absolutely nobody there. Empty aisle.
Wow. Okay, that's deeply unsettling. And it suggests it wasn't just one isolated thing happening, right?
Exactly. And it wasn't just adults either. There's this report about a young kid.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and you know how kids can be just brutally honest.
Yeah.
He told his mom he saw a strange-shaped man who smiled at him, and then, poof, vanished.
Just gone.
Into thin air, according to the account. And soon after that, other passengers started reporting things too, feeling like unseen things were brushing past them.
And that coldness, right, an intense cold suddenly inside the cabin.
Yes, an inexplicable cold. Despite the air conditioning supposedly working normally, it points to this growing shared sense of unease. Something was definitely off.
That jump from a personal feeling, like someone behind you, to a shared physical sensation like cold, that's significant.
It really is. It makes you wonder how something unseen could have such a widespread physical effect. But the weird stuff wasn't just happening back in the cabin. Things were getting serious up in the cockpit, too.
Right. Captain Ahmed and his co-pilot Zubair, what happened there?
Well, they suddenly faced major instrument problems, malfunctions across the board. And get this, the plane started changing direction on its own.
Even with the autopilot engaged and set correctly.
Exactly. The system showed it was engaged, programmed for Dubai, but the plane was veering off course. And when they tried to radio the control tower...
Let me guess, signal failure.
Total signal failure. Couldn't get through. But then, this is where it gets really bizarre. Both pilots, at the same time, saw this blurry image appear in the cockpit.
Both of them, simultaneously.
Yes. And this image slowly came into focus. It resolved into the figure of an old woman, just hovering there, apparently smiling at them in this really strange way.
What on earth? I mean, for two trained pilots to see the same impossible thing?
It defies easy explanation. You can imagine the fear. Captain Ahmed reportedly voiced this terrifying question, something like, are we under the control of some demonic force?
Understandable reaction, frankly. So they decided to land.
Immediately. Initiated an emergency landing procedure right away.
And as they started that descent, things escalated, didn't they? That scream.
Yes. A sound described as a heart-wrenching scream just echoed through the entire cabin. Passengers were, as you'd expect, totally freaked out. Crying, pure panic.
You just can't imagine being on that plane. What would you even do?
It's hard to fathom. But then here's the final twist. As the plane got closer to the ground, nearing the airport for landing,
It just stopped.
abruptly, everything. The noises stopped, that intense cold vanished, the temperature went back to normal, and crucially, the cockpit instruments stabilized, just like that.
Wow. So they landed safely.
Landed perfectly safely. But everyone, passengers and crew, were completely shaken, bewildered, trying to process what on earth they'd all just been through.
And the next day, the papers just reported it as another mysterious incident, but safe landing.
Pretty much. Flight number 786. Another mysterious incident. But plane landed safely. Understated, to say the least.
So the mystery just hangs there, doesn't it? Flight 786 remains this enigma, and you have to think about the impact on everyone who was actually on board. That central question remains.
Was it real? Or was it some kind of powerful shared hallucination? We just don't know.
Which brings us back to that core issue. What does it actually mean when you have multiple people, unrelated people, sharing an experience that completely defies logic?
How do we even begin to categorize that or understand it? This deep dive really forces you, the listener, to think about the edges of our understanding.
Where does empirical evidence end and something else begin?
Exactly. How much weight do we give human testimony when it describes the truly strange? Maybe the inexplicable isn't always supernatural. Maybe it's just phenomena we don't have the framework for yet. Something to definitely ponder.